let's head to New York, where the seventh and ninth session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, is on the way, begins officially on Sunday, and marks a crucial milestone in the global effort to accelerate progress towards the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And there are some conversations that have already started even before the meeting. Now, let's delve into that. I know you might have seen Laolo Akonde, a channel television analyst, who is right there. We also have our correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, there. So in the coming days, it's going to be a busy day for them. And trust us right here to keep you on top of conversations. Now we have Laolo Akonde joining us from there. Well, good morning. You're in New York, so it's morning at this time. And I know you had to wake up early for this. We appreciate that. But I mean, you're going to have to do this very much, even much more in the coming days.
Yeah, good morning, Hini. Actually, there are three sets of events that normally mark this annual gathering of presidents and head of states at the UN. So there is what is called the Action Days, convened by the Secretary General of the UN, in this case, Mr. Antonio Guterres. That is actually starting today. With a conference around the idea of youth and future leadership. So the action days are today, Friday, and tomorrow, Saturday. There's going to be a lot of side events, silent events around that action days. And then on Sunday, like you rightly said, they will now start the Summit of the Future. Okay? The Summit of the Future will take place 2 days, that is Sunday and Monday. And that is where the head of states are expected to start participating actively. As a matter of fact, we are being told that over 130 heads of states and governments have indicated interest to participate. And most of them will be arriving over this weekend. And then on Tuesday, that's when you have the peak of it all, the general debate of the General Assembly. And that is when all the leaders, starting with the President of the United States, we start to address the General Assembly.
All right. It's going to be a busy schedule, obviously, but we have our eyes on the expected conversation, which has already started even before now. That's international financial architecture, the reforms of it. The Global South are asking for fairness and reformed architecture in this area. I wonder if there are conversations that are already building towards this.
Yes, you're very correct, Ini. As you know, for quite a while now, there has been the conversation and the narrative around the inequitable nature of global financial architecture. Namely, you have many of the poorest countries paying or spending much more of their resources on paying debts and spending less on education, health, and even infrastructure. As a matter of fact, it is said that when you put together what poor countries spend on health, education, and infrastructure, it doesn't come close to how much money they are spending on paying debts. So that is one big aspect of the conversation that has been going on, and that will be featuring big time in the Summit of the Future. Now, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Antonio Guterres, actually came up with the idea and convened this summit to try to say that, look, if you look at the current financial architecture, to use his exact words, it has grown to be outdated and ineffective. You recall that when the Bretton Woods institution was formed, just I think about 45 years ago or thereabout, you had, at the inception of the UN, I guess, you had about 45 countries that set up the what is currently the global financial architecture. So the Secretary of the UN is saying that, look, the world has changed. That system has become ineffective, and it's important now to begin to see how it can be overhauled so that nations have a fair chance. People who are in poverty, several parts of the world, including our country, by the way, can get more consideration so that more money can be spent on human capital development. You can deal with poverty. you can create more opportunities, and then people can spend less of their resources on debt. These are some of the conversations that have preceded this idea of the Summit of the Future. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this shapes out, starting on Sunday when the Summit of the Future will kick off here in New York.
Interesting indeed. And of course, in the coming days, as you said, from Sunday, we would be doing a lot of crossover both to yourself and Lanre Lasisi. But thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we look forward to more conversations during the week.
Thank you, Hini. Have a nice one.
You too. All right, so that's it. In New York, you can expect that we will keep you abreast of every conversation. And the issues around fairness in international financial architecture is not a new one that has to do with IMF and the World Bank and credit agency. These are issues that have been out there in the front burner, but we'll see what happens at the end of UNGA 2024, if there'll be anything there.